Hey gamers, I'm the Bad Luck Gamer, and we're back with another video. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to all you. Again, I know I started like the last couple videos like this. I'm sorry, okay? I'm just excited. We've officially hit over 200 subscribers now as I'm making this video. And one of my other videos is 9 views away from hitting 1,000 views, which is absolutely amazing. Plus, I've been getting so much good feedback on a lot of my videos. And just people just telling me they like my content. It's great. I'm living the life right now. Like this makes it all worth it. And I can only thank all of you for this. You really make this very fulfilling for me. And I don't think a lot of content creators get that as much, or at least not a lot of the smaller ones like myself, which honestly at this rate, we're not going to be a small channel for all that much longer. But at least for now, thank you all so much. And in a strange turn of events, this video is actually going to be edited by a good friend of mine who wants to add it to their portfolio. So, you know, if there's any good criticisms you have, put it in the videos below. I'm sure they will appreciate it. And yeah, it's strange. I don't even get paid yet, and I already have like an editor, at least for like a couple videos, which is pretty cool. So big thanks to that. That'll also let me work on some other projects as well. So it's honestly a big boon, especially this time of year. But that's enough getting started. Let's go ahead and jump into the topic for this video, which is why this class is awesome, and it's going to be Monk.
Come back here! Come here! I'm gonna kick your ass!
No! No!
I'm gonna kick it harder if you don't come over here!
Holy crap. Well, Monk is one of my top 5 classes. Investigator is my favorite, but Monk definitely ranks in like the top 3. It's just really, really good. And doing this video has shown me even more why Monk is absolutely awesome in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And let me go ahead and just tell you why that is. First and foremost, they're expert in all their saving throws at level 1, which is really dumb. I mean, most classes get at least 2 experts, which is good, but Monk gets 3 starting out, and they're going to get even higher, and we'll get to that in a bit. And they're also expert in unarmored defense. So unlike Champion, who's also expert in heavy and medium armor, Monk also gets expert in all their saving throws, making Monk one of the most untouchable classes in Pathfinder 2e, and that's no exaggeration. There's very few people who can take on a well-kitted out Monk, and we'll be talking a lot about this video. Monk is absolutely nuts with everything they can do, and I absolutely love the class. They got a lot of cool things. Next, let's talk about one of their basic features. Usually I go down the list of what you would see on the in the book or in Archive of Nethys, but I want to talk about first their powerful fist feature. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot. It makes their fists do a d6 rather than a d4. It also doesn't punish them for having the non-lethal trait. You don't no longer take that penalty for doing so. Every other class in the game has to take this feature as a feat to even do the same thing. Monk gets it straight out. That's good. That's really good. You have no idea how many times I'm working on an unarmored build in another class, and I have to take either a Monk archetype dedication or a special class feat or a multi-class, you know, some like the martial artist, just to be able to do the same thing. It's it makes a lot more of a difference than one might think. That mixed in with Flurry of Blows. Flurry of Blows is a multi-attack action cooked into the class. No other class gets this. It's so good. They make 2 attacks with a single attack action, and considering that most of their strikes are already agile anyway, they're likely to hit with a lot of attacks. They can attack you 4 times at level 1 with no extra feats. No nothing. This one action doing 2 attacks opens the Monk's turn up to so many things. They can move around a lot. They can do other types of actions. They can mix and match so many ways. Playing a Monk gives you a variety of different actions you can take on your turn. You always have choices, and there's always a ton of things you could be doing. This feature alone, mixed with some of the other like feats that monks can pick up, makes Monk honestly kind of broken. It's really nuts. We'll talk on more on that later. My God, there's so much. It all just keeps stacking together. Anyway, incredible movement. Makes the monk just go fast. They go really, really fast. They get a plus 10 status bonus to their movement speed, and it keeps increasing as they level up, getting to a plus 30. Now, that means that a monk gets a 55 movement speed at like endgame, which is a lot, I know. But when you take this into consideration, right, in D&D 5e, you get a 30 foot and then maybe another 30 foot if you dash. Some classes get 2 dashes or whatever. The monk gets the same thing, only it's just a part of their basic stride action. And any action that requires them to stride as a part of it gets the benefit of this action, which there's a lot of good multi-class archetypes or even non-standard archetype dedications that have movement-based strikes that this synergizes with a lot. It's actually pretty nuts, including the martial artist, which would be really weird to take on top of it, but it would be really good. Path of Perfection leads the monk to having the highest saving throws in the game. Now, to be fair, there's other classes that get some of the same kind of features. Fighters, and I believe some of the other classes will get 2 master saving throws. Monk gets an expert, a master, and a legendary saving throw, which they're the only class to get a legendary saving throw, by the way. And not only that, the monk gets to pick what the 2 saving throws are. And those 2 saving throws are, as they level up, makes it so that when they succeed, they crit succeed, which is pretty nuts. And then the third Path of Perfection makes it so you can't crit fail. And even if you do fail a save that does damage to you, you still take half damage. That means that honestly, everyone's going to take reflex saving throws because honestly, reflex is one of the most common. That means a monk with reflex saving throws is their perfected or their third path. They're taking half damage anyway, or no damage. They take half or no damage. It's pretty nuts. It's really, really good. And no matter what combination of paths you pick, honestly, monk gets a lot of benefits. Even if you don't pick reflex as one of your perfected paths, because you get 2, you get 2. They still normally have a really high dex save, meaning that honestly, they're going to just be damn near impossible to affect with anything. And like I said, the third path just makes it where you just can't crit fail, which is really good on something like a will saving throw, which is normally really terrible if you crit fail on. It's really good. Metal strikes and adamantine strikes makes monks just deadly to so many creatures just base. Their hands just hurt people in more ways than one. They are the chiefs of knuckle sandwiches. They are so good. And not only that, but some of the most dangerous creatures in the game have weaknesses to things like silver or cold iron, and adamantine can break through some of the most tanky enemies in the game like they're nothing. This makes monk really good, and on top of that, other classes who want the same kind of thing have to either get weapons and inscribe them with runes that have one of their qualities, sometimes 2, or they have to do a very expensive and lengthy rune transfer service from one weapon to another with the kind of material they need. And monk just gets it straight out. It's absolutely amazing. Monk is the only class to get both a legendary proficiency in a armor class and a saving throw. Again, monks are damn near unkillable. You just can't do anything to put them down. They're one of the tankiest classes in the game without even wearing armor. And it gets worse with feats. Oh my god, we're going to get into that soon. But there's a lot. Also, perfected form gives monks on their first strike in a round they default to a 10. They either get a roll above 10 or they default to a 10, meaning that, monks with master level unarmed strikes will probably hit you with their first strike. This, in combination with flurry of blows and stunning fists, means that your first strike is always going to proc a stun. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get to feats, and we're already low on time. Stances. Monks have so many stance feats, and they're all so really good. They just give the monk a wide variety of different kinds of styles and attacks they can do. All their stances have different traits, letting you really customize your strikes, which is absolutely amazing. On top of that, some of the strikes even do things like fire damage with the Fire Talon stance. And there's a lot of their stance that are 1d8 or that do d8 damages. That are also agile finesse stances, meaning that you have a d8 weapon that you're going to hit with a lot. It's really good. And on top of that, Flurry of Blows just makes these stances even more deadly because you're just attacking a bunch. One of the stances, one that came out in the Secrets of Magic, is the Stoked Flame stance, which is a really cool stance. It makes it so that you do a forceful D8 strikes. On top of that, they also, when you crit, rather than their normal crit specialization, they can do persistent fire damage. And this stance makes you faster. It gives you a +5 bonus on top of your normal incredible movement speeds, which is absolutely amazing. And it's probably going to be the first, or it's going to be one of many future like Mystics magic style stances that the monk's going to get. It's also got some cool features, like many of the stances have later feats that give them extra attacks that do other really cool things, Stoke Flame stance included. And it's just, it adds so much. But talking about variety, let's talk about the monastic weaponry feat, which allows you to take the special monk weapons and use them with your features, including Flurry of Blows. You can use weapons with your Flurry of Blows, which is already really good, and Stunning Fist, which we're going to get to in a little bit. But oh my god. And you can get ancestral weaponry, making it so that your weapons, you can also choose from any agile finesse weapons from your ancestry that you have access to. This makes a Dwarven Clan Dagger build really cool and really interesting because the dwarves get a lot of Clan Dagger specific feats to mix in with a very specialized build around this, which is a really cool idea. And not only that, but the Orc Knuckle Dagger is another good weapon. And just thinking knuckle daggers, just knuckle daggers and martial arts together, you can't go wrong. It's so good. It's absolutely amazing. And again, any monk like feature that requires you make an unarmed strike, your weapon benefits from it as well. Which is monks have too many tools. They're so good. They can do so many things. Oh my gosh. Let's continue before I get too hooked on this. Deflect Arrow is actually hidden OP. Now, a lot of people might write it off as like, oh, it's a situational thing. Deflect Arrow makes your character pretty much immune to range strikes because you already have one of the highest defensive proficiencies in the game. And you add a +4 circumstance bonus on top of it as a reaction. Pretty much picking this 1 feat up makes you immune to a physical ranged attack once per round. Like pretty close, like pretty damn close. At the very least, you will never get crit. And with the addition of guns added recently, this feat got so much better. Like when I said monks were untouchable, I was not kidding. Monks can do a lot, and this feat alone just makes ranged attacks. You can't hit them, you can't affect them with saving throws, and you can't even use ranged attacks on them because they're just going to deflect it. It's really good. Now, for one feat that I've been mentioning many times up until this point, Stunning Fists. I believed I needed to speak about stunning specifically because it just enhances your Flurry of Blows. You have to do nothing else. There's no other resource cost, nothing. If you strike an enemy with one of your Flurry of Blows strikes, which with perfected form means that you're probably going to do it on your first strike or whatever, it doesn't even matter. Like, Stunning Fist makes it so that your Flurry of Blows, which you can use it with monastic weaponry as well. So you're hitting with a weapon. Anytime you hit an enemy with these weapons, sorry, I need to actually say what the feat does. you have a chance of stunning them using your class DC. Now, your class DC is not normally going to be that high. It does scale off of whatever key attribute you did pick for the class. But on top of that, you're hitting enemies a lot because of Flurry of Blows. And even if you're hitting a boss that's never going to fail the fort saves, all you need for them is to botch once, and they get stuns 3. Even for high-level enemies, there's that chance that you're just going to remove one of their rounds, one of their turns, automatically just by having it on, and you're always going to be using Flurry of Blows because it's so good. Stunning Fist is probably the best feat in the Monk kit. And I'm not even done. We're still in the low-level feats. Oh my goodness. All right, let's continue. Wholeness of Body is incredibly good. It's actually, it's better than you would think. Now, the Perfected Paths, I recommend most people take either Reflex or Will saving throws because those are some of the most important or most common saving throws that you're going to have to make. Wholeness of Body can help counteract that. One, because it's a good pocket heal, and you get 8 plus the heightened effect 8 hit points as an action, which is really good. You can just use a focus point to get a bunch of HP back. Or, and the thing that I think is really good about it, you can use it to cure a disease or poison on your character. A lot of fort saves are based around poisons and diseases anyway, and a Wholeness of Body will allow you to make a counteract check using your class DC against the DC of the effect to just get rid of it. So even if you're not great at fort saves, picking this up makes your character even harder to deal with when it comes to the one thing that they're not the best at. It's it's really good, and again, it's a good pocket heal on top of that. We're going to talk about one of my favorite stances in this next part, which is Clinging Shadows stance, which, again, I absolutely love. It's a very mystic magic style stance. It's one of the few focus stances that uses a focus point to go into the stance. It does negative damage, which hurts all living creatures, so you got to be careful with that stipulation. But it does a D4, and it's agile, which means you're likely to hit with it. It has the grapple trait, which means that if you have hand wraps and mighty blows, which of course you do because you're a monk, your athletics checks are going to get an item bonus to grappling them. And it's reach. You can grab someone far, like 10 feet away from you, out of their melee range, and then keep beating them with your shadows. And they can't do anything about it until they break the stance. And by the way, talking about trying to escape from this stance, the stance innately gives you a +2 circumstance bonus to the athletics checks I mentioned before, which stacks on top of the item bonus, which means that you're going to grapple them. And it adds that to the DC to escape. So they're not going to escape even if they want. You can just wrap someone up and just pin them down. And this even has another feat later that just traps a whole bunch of people in an emanation around you. It's such a good stance, and it lets you fight in a very unique way. And oh yeah, did I forget to mention that you don't have to make Clinging Shadows strikes? That you can use whatever other unarmed strikes or even weapon strikes with this stance. You can also use this with the combined stance feat later to do this, wrap someone up, and then just destroy them with whatever other kind of strikes you can do. It's such a good feat. It's so good. It's such a good stance. It does some of the lowest damage because of how much versatility it gives you. And it just allows you to lock an enemy down. And also, Stunning Fist on top of this. You also have a chance of stunning them so they can't even attempt to escape anyway. It's so good. Oh my god, Monk is amazing. It's so broken. It's not broken, but they're just really, really good at what they do, which is being untouchable and having a lot of tools for hurting people. And speaking of, this is going to be the last thing I'm going to mention because we're already out of time. But please go to Archive of Nethys, buy a core book, whatever. Look at all the stuff that Monk can do. I guarantee Monk is going to be fun. If you love fisticuffs, if you like beating people with your fists in your like whatever fantasy setting, just look at everything the Monk has. There's just a lot. It's the perfect fantasy, and you don't have to be the stereotypical fantasy monk. But we're going to get to that kind of topic in another video. For now, I'm going to talk about Quivering Palm. Now, it's an old manga / anime, but have you ever watched Fist of the North Star? This is exactly that. It's so aesthetic. It's 2 actions. It's a focus strike. And by the way, with perfected form, you're probably going to hit with the strike anyway. You hit the enemy, and then at any point, for a month, it has a 1-month duration. God. It has a 1-month duration. You can proc the effect as a single action. The enemy has to make a fort save. If they crit succeed, nothing happens. Boo, boring. You know, we don't care about that. If they succeed, they become stunned 1 and take 40 damage. If they succeed, they take 40 damage. This makes 1 strike you do an additional 40 damage. But wait, there's more. If they fail the check, they become stunned 3, wasting a whole turn of theirs, and they take 80 damage. That will kill most people outright. And we'll get to that particular part of it here in a second. And not only that, the effect continues for the duration. So you can do it again. If they keep failing, you can use a single action to do 80 damage to them. If they crit fail the strike, they die. 2, 1, 0. Oh no! Their head explodes just like in Fist of the North Star. It's absolutely amazing. And oh yeah, I didn't want to spoil it, but if they fail the check, they also can't die from it later. That doesn't mean they're not going to die from the 80 damage you're doing with every action afterwards. Oh my god, it's so good. And this has so much versatility outside of combat as well. You can hit a wealthy noble and be like, hey, I need you to do something for me or you're going to die. And you can point to one of his guards, and as that action, his head will explode, and the noble will do anything you say. It lasts for a month. It lasts for a month. And with that, we're going to end this video. I am so sorry this video went a little longer than expected. That's going to probably be a more common thing with some of these later classes because they're really good. And not only that, they just have a lot of good features that a lot of people like on the list, and they're very aesthetic. That doesn't mean that any of the classes I've done in prior videos are any less awesome. It just means that those classes have very particular play styles, and without doing a whole video to explain exactly how all their feats are good, I can't really do it. A lot of these later feats are a lot simpler as far as feat design is concerned. Excuse me. And so a lot more of them are going to be cool for people to use and utilize. I guarantee with any of the classes I've made before, you could deal with a monk in some way or form. But monk is really awesome. And yeah, so I just want to thank you all for this. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to see more videos like this. It really helps me out and lets me know that what I'm doing is really good. Also, the channel is in a big upswing of growth right now, so you can be a part of that. Also, leave comments. I do my best to answer as many comments as I can. And, you know, join the community. We actually have a Discord link down in the description below that you can join. And also, we do live play content on this channel as well. And if you join the Discord, you have a chance of playing with us because I always recruit from my Discord first whenever I set up any of my games. So, yeah, we got all that going on for you. And also, I've been kind of mentioning this in some of my videos. If you like these videos and you think someone else would like them too, please share them. Please share them on whatever platform of choice you have. I want to make Pathfinder 2E accessible to everyone. And with these simplified examples and explanations of some of the classes, I think it really gets people hyped for the classes. And there's just a lot of great things in Pathfinder 2, and I really want to spread that around. So please, feel free to do so. You have my permission. And with that, it's going to be the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Good luck with your games, leave the bad luck to me, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.